Alright, welcome back everyone. Thank you guys for tuning in to another video. We hope you all have been enjoying the past videos, and also we hope you've been enjoying our blog channel because we know you're jumping over and subscribing, which the link is down below.
Good little segue.
Alright, this is episode 232.
Once again, dog hair all over my mouth.
Yeah, it's all over here.
Ew.
It's so funny. Our dog he just plopped up on the couch and sat all over the microphone.
Yeah, I think he wants to say some things.
All right. Today's video is Things Americans Get Wrong About Europe. It's by Living Ironically in Europe.
Wait, hold on. 9 months ago. Okay.
That's not too bad. All right, let's see.
Europe.
Come to Birmingham! Come to
Any more bullets? Any more bullets? Any more bullets?
Oh, cholera! Czy to Freddy Fazbear?
Long held as a land of culture, etiquette, sophistication, elegance, free healthcare, and pretentious intellectual snobs whose lungs are more full of their own farts than the average 13-year-olds are of questionable fruit-flavored cancer fumes from bright-colored Chinese sticks. For the longest time, Europe has been held by many Americans as this vastly superior promised land and an example to Republicans on how to run social policies. And me, as a pretentious, fart-sniffing European myself, I'm here to tell you, my dear American friend, that you are wrong, as Europe is much more different than what many over the seas will lead you to believe. So here's a video on all the things Americans get wrong about Europe. One of the biggest arguments I hear about Europe being propagated by smug Europeans with an EU flag as their profile picture on Twitter, or American leftists that gag at the mere mentioning of the word America, is that Europe is super walkable and a wonderland that made the car obsolete, and we all live in a car-free utopia and happily ride the super cheap and affordable and plentiful public transportation.
I've seen that guy before.
The American children really have to wake up at 6:30 for school in day, and here in Sweden, the children are
Whoever created this video, their brain needs to be studied because they have the most severe case of ADHD.
I saw me walking at 11:07 early to the classroom.
And let me tell you something. That is not really the case. To be fair, Europe certainly is more walkable and less car friendly than America. And Europeans absolutely have more public transportation options and utilize public transport more than Americans. There's no arguing with that. However, many European states, Western and Eastern alike, still rely on using cars quite frequently. Many European cities are quite large and densely populated. As a result, using public transportation becomes quite uncomfortable as there are so many people packed together. Thus, many opt out to purchase a car and use it to get around the city.
Hey, Mercedes!
So, many renowned European cities such as London, Paris, Rome, Athens, and Istanbul, and anywhere else you can think of that has a population of over 1 million, hell, even 500,000, are renowned for having horrendous and congested traffic. Another issue is that if you happen to live in a smaller town or even in a more rural settlement and need to go between cities, your options for public transport get quite limited. As a result, many Europeans still rely on a car.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Let us know in the comments though where you guys live, if that's true. Like where there's a lot more cars than we expect.
Well, duh. I feel like everywhere we've gone, we've seen tons of cars, but it just doesn't compare to here.
Yeah, that's true.
Because,
I think, it's just good. I think you guys have a lot of option to take public transport more than we do and walk.
Yeah.
As their main mode of transport. This is more of a case in Eastern and Central Europe, but still very much alive in the West as well. And just because there is public transportation doesn't necessarily mean it's cheap. Using public transportation within cities in Germany and Finland can cost up to €3 for a ticket. And if you don't book your ticket for the train in Spain or Italy in time, the cost can add up. And taking a train cross country almost
I remember when we went to Italy and we were taking it But that's also because it's that bullet train going kind of far, huh? So it makes
That's what
sense.
I'm saying. Those ones are pretty pricey, but
Yeah.
it's worth it to me because they take you pretty far.
They do take you far.
Where can easily be over 50 euros and above. It's certainly better than in America, but it certainly is no transportation utopia.
I don't listen. Do I think it's some utopia? No, but I would much rather be able to take a bullet train from here to Vegas or here to like Oregon.
Yeah.
We don't have that option. It's our train system is so fucking slow. So
It
I like
is.
to have that.
Chirurgiem. Jestem chirurgiem.
One of the more annoying aspects of American politics is this insistence on the American far left that America should be like Europe and utilize free healthcare. First of all, our healthcare isn't free. Europeans, no matter the country we live in, have substantially larger taxes than those in America. A lot of this taxation goes into funding our healthcare. Unlike in America, more often than not, you pay the same tax percentage no matter your income. Thus, in many ways,
That's
European
not true.
taxes are
Yeah, it's not
regressive compared to the American tax system. To be fair, you certainly do pay less than in America regarding your healthcare. However, a lot of times, our systems are quite inefficient. A lot of times, to get any serious surgery or procedure done, you will have to wait a decent amount of time on a waiting list to get
Guys,
it
I want to
done.
know if anyone has experienced this in Europe. Because I hear such mixed reviews. I hear
Yeah.
people saying like, yeah, I got my spine surgery taken care of, blah, blah, blah.
And then I've also heard
didn't
other people
feel-
who say that it's very inefficient and it takes very long.
Right. Because
Yeah.
the cost of living here for how much taxes people pay does not make sense.
Yeah.
But then again, America is so big that some people it really doesn't feel like a dent in their pocket, and then others can really feel it.
Yeah, that's true.
Their taxes. And what he said about taxes is not true. There are people making far more money that are paying less in taxes than the lower middle class, and it's really situational.
The UK's NHS is one of the most nefarious examples of this inefficiency, and throughout Eastern and Central Europe the situation isn't that far off. The only time that you'll
No.
get priority is if you have been already diagnosed and are in a serious trouble. However, to get the diagnosis in the first place can take some time to see a specialist because there's a
love
huge
that shit.
waiting queue. As a result, many opt to use private
There's waiting
healthcare
queues
and
here
private
too, though.
insurance.
That's the thing. Is
Yeah, there
our
is.
waiting is people wait forever.
Yeah.
Unless you're like extremely wealthy and have like the best of the best healthcare and you're spending like $1,000 a month on healthcare, you are probably going to be waiting a while too for your date.
Yeah, it is true.
Both of my parents have had surgeries, pretty invasive surgeries at different points in their life. And both of them had to wait a couple months to
Yeah,
get in there.
it is true.
Because of this. Although the additional safety net is appreciated here, it often becomes quite a burden because of its inefficiency and hit on your wallet due to the high tax rates. And unlike in America, you can opt out of paying government healthcare. Whether you use it or not, you're stuck paying these ridiculously high tax rates even if you switch to private healthcare. Another thing that Europeans love to gloat about is how they are healthier than those fat American slobs that ride mobility scooters through Walmart to get their government unregulated GMO enhanced cheese from a can. And to be fair, there is some truth to this. Maybe not even some, but a lot. Europe has certainly better food regulation, they have more walkable cities, and the governments encourage more healthy activities in the youth. However, on average, 53% of EU citizens are overweight, as their BMI is over 25. In particular, 54% of Germany's population is overweight, 60% of Hungary's, 60% of Czechia's, 65% of Croatia's, 56% of Portugal's, and 58% of Greece's. Again, not as bad as the US, but certainly not the flex many think it is. Although on average Europeans still have a smaller obesity rate than Americans, Europeans smoke and consume way more alcohol and caffeine than the average American. It is not uncommon for teenagers to start smoking young, not just in Eastern Europe but Western as well, and for them to also start drinking early and go bar hopping. So yes, Europeans are technically more healthy than Americans, but you give some, you take some.
That is true. I never thought about how much
They
more
do. Yeah, it's more of the culture.
they drink because they can drink a lot sooner than we can
Yeah.
here.
And smoking, I think, is way more normal too.
Chain smoking,
Yeah.
I swear. But yeah.
So this one's a bit more niche, as it's not propagated by that many Americans, but still is here and there by the less educated ones. And that is that Europe is one singular cohesive entity with singular policies, goals, and interests, which simply isn't true. Although the EU has unified us in many ways, Europe is still a continent and not a single country with a central federal government. A lot of countries until quite recently were historical enemies with each other. Today, although that is no longer the case, many still do what's best for their own nation and interests and act independently of the others. What's the law in one country won't necessarily be true in the other. Even in politics, countries must form coalitions and persuade others to push EU laws, and the process is quite slow and bureaucratic. Although we are much more unified than before, we're definitely not unified as much as America.
So much diversity.
Finally, we have to talk about America's leftists' favorite talking point, and that is that Europe is a far left progressive paradise. And again, to be fair, European states are more akin to the classic welfare state model. However, they are not
Linda.
Socialist or super
we are
left,
here
the
too.
way American politicians such as Bernie Sanders claim. Many European states have extremely business-friendly laws, despite their high taxes. Sanders, when he praised the socialist system of the Scandinavian countries, actually warranted a response from the Danish government, which proclaimed that they are a free market economy and not a socialist one like he claimed. Private enterprise is encouraged, and many hate to be referred to as socialists, especially in Eastern Europe.
Yeah,
Although
I could
many
see that.
nations are
I think the thing is that they have like little. It's like a mixture of socialism and capitalism, but it works. I think.
I think the problem is putting a label because everyone's definition is so different.
Just do what works and actually values people.
Yeah, and if you do one thing that is not a socialist move, it's like, well, we're not socialist.
Yeah.
It's like, stop labeling it.
The labeling does ruin it. Yeah.
LGBT friendly, the average European is arguably more socially conservative than your average American, especially concerning trans rights. For example, Ireland technically only legalized divorce in 1996, and Switzerland fully ratified women's
That's
suffrage
insane.
in 1990. Of course, the big cities.
1996 is when divorce was legal in Ireland. That's crazy.
That's why Catholics don't get.
Yeah,
don't get
I do know
divorced.
those parts are super.
They're Protestant and
religious.
Catholic, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I've ever thought of Europe as more progressive than us when it comes to like LGBTQ.
I haven't
rights.
either. I think we have more of that here.
Do we?
I don't know. Maybe it's just because we
I
live
don't
in
think we
California.
do. I think it's because we live in
Yeah.
California.
Yeah, you're right.
'Cause they're
are extremely progressive, just like any city on the American coast, yet Europeans in general are still more suspicious of immigrants and foreigners than Americans. It is also quite difficult for immigrants to be accepted by the population. Assimilation culture in Europe is more lacking than in America, and many immigrants whose families have been here for generations are still regarded as outsiders, be it for the factors of their own making or the factors outside of their control. I mean, just ask the average European what he thinks about the gypsies and you'll know what I'm talking about. In conclusion, I love the shit out of Europe, and there is a reason I've chosen to make it my home instead of America. But misrepresentation helps no one, and honesty is the best policy. Let me know what you think. What misconceptions about your country/continent bother you? Let me know in the comment section down
Europe looks
below.
fucking
And also,
gorgeous.
let me know
Yeah.
if you'd like me to make a video about misconceptions about America by Europeans. As always, thank you to the members who help and fund and support my work. If you wish to become a patron and support my further videos, become a member of the channel, or go and buy yourself a shirt or my board game off theIronicShop.com. My name is Janos, and you've watched Living Ironically in Europe.
Hey, why are you living in the USA? It is not the
Cool.
place to
All right.
stay.
Yeah, that was cool.
I don't know. I agreed with the most of it, but also not some of it, because some of it you can tell was a little biased.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
I'm biased too from my experience.
it's
so.
better if you guys clarify things because you actually live in Europe. The
I
ones
feel
who
like
do.
I feel like a lot of this is very up to opinion,
Yeah, it is. It is.
but still a fun video.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. I was reading a comment. Oh, someone said make a video
Yeah.
about the U.S. because people think NYC, Miami, and LA are the only parts of this country. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, see, this is what someone said. Someone said for healthcare, I like to point out that it's far more important than just getting a surgery and waiting for your turn. It's about breaking your leg accidentally, having a flu, bacteria infection, stomach issues, all more common issues you get resolved for free. I guess it's not free because you are paying the taxes for it.
But you don't
But
have
that
to
is
stress
true.
about
the
going
amount
in
of
and
times
taking care
here
of
that
it.
people will be sick and they will not go to the doctor because they don't, even if they have health insurance, is one, they don't want to wait for it. And it's like a fucking hassle here.
Yeah.
And then even when you do wait and go, you're still paying when you get there. Even if you have health insurance, you're still paying a fee when you get there. You're paying for your medicine. Obviously, I feel like that's pretty universal, paying for your medicine after anyway. But you're still paying. And then if your insurance doesn't cover the tests and labs and things, you still have to pay that out of pocket. So you're paying to pay, essentially, which is stupid.
Yeah, that's true. It is true. But let us know your opinions in the comments below and anything you want to fix or something like that. But
yeah, we'll never know everyone. Like, we will only know our own experience no matter what. Everyone, will only know their own experience. And the grass always looks greener on the other side.
100%.
Sometimes, not always.
If you guys enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. And don't forget to jump over to our vlog channel.
Thanks for watching.
Peace.